To move on, we've been talking about children. I want to talk about seniors. That takes us to our second Facebook question from Farheen Hakim, who writes, my father, she's a 40-year-old woman who works for a nonprofit here in Milwaukee. And she writes, my father gets just $16 in food assistance per month as part of Medicaid's Family Community Program in Milwaukee County for low-income seniors. How will you, as president, work to ensure low-income seniors get their basic needs met? Start with you, Senator Sanders.
Okay. You know, you judge a nation not by the number of millionaires and billionaires it has, but by how we treat the most vulnerable and fragile people in our nation. And by those standards, we're not doing particularly well. We have the highest rate of childhood poverty among almost any major country on earth. And in terms of seniors, there are millions of seniors, and I've talked to them in my state of Vermont and all over this country, who are trying to get by on $11,000, $12,000, $13,000 a year Social Security. And you know what? You do the arithmetic, you can't get by on $11,000, $12,000, $13,000 a year. And here's an area where Secretary Clinton and I believe we have a difference. I have long supported the proposition that we should lift the cap on taxable income coming into the Social Security Trust Fund, starting at $250,000. And when we do that, we don't do what the Republicans want, which is to cut Social Security. We do what the American people want, to expand Social Security by $1,300 a year for people under $16,000, and we extend the life of Social Security for 58 years. Yes, the wealthiest people, the top 1.5%, will pay more in taxes. But a great nation like ours should not be in a position where elderly people are cutting their pills in half, where they don't have decent nutrition, where they can't heat their homes in the wintertime. That is not what America should be about. If elected president, I will do everything I can to expand Social Security benefit, not just for seniors, but for disabled veterans as well.
I think it's fair to say we don't have a disagreement. We both believe there has to be more money going into the Social Security system. I've said I'm looking at a couple of different ways, one which you mentioned, Senator, but also trying to expand the existing tax to passive income that wealthy people have, so that we do get more revenue into the Social Security Trust Fund. I have a slightly different approach, though, about what we should do with that initially. First, rather than expand benefits for everyone, I do want to take care of low-income seniors who worked at low-wage jobs. I want to take care of women. When the Social Security program was started in the 1930s, not very many women worked, and women have been disadvantaged ever since. They do not get any credit for their caretaking responsibilities, and the people who are often the most hard hit are widows, because when their spouse dies, they can lose up to 1/2 of their Social Security monthly payment. So we have no disagreement about the need to buttress Social Security, get more revenue into the program. But I want to start by helping those people who are most at risk, the ones who, yes, are cutting their pills in half, who don't believe they can make the rent, who are worried about what comes next for them.
In all due respect, in all due respect, Secretary Clinton, a lot of the progressive groups and the online groups have really asked you a simple question. Are you coming on board a proposal? And what is that proposal? Now, the proposal that I've outlined, should be familiar to you, because it is what essentially Barack Obama campaigned on in 2008. You opposed them then. I would hope that you would come on board and say that this is the simple and straightforward thing to do. We're asking the top 1.5%, including passive income, to start paying a little bit more so that the elderly and disabled vets in this country can live with security and dignity. I hope you will make a decision soon
Senator,
on this.
Look, I think we're in vigorous agreement here. We both want to get more revenue in. I have yet to see a proposal that you're describing that raising the cap would apply to passive income. That has not
That's
been
my bill.
well. That has not
Check it
been
out.
a part of most of the proposals that I've seen. I'm interested in making sure we get the maximum amount of revenue from those who can well afford to provide it. So I'm going to come up with the best way forward. We're going to end up in the same place. We're going to get more revenue. I'm going to prioritize those recipients who need the most help first.